Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome back to This Week in Esports and Gaming, the show where we talk about the latest and greatest in business happenings for gaming, esports, and creator news. I'm your host, Mark Kai, and you might be wondering what's going to be changing about This Week in Esports and Gaming this year. Well, to be quite frank, not much. I don't have many changes planned. Well, honestly, actually, if you would give feedback, that'd be great. If you want to give feedback on the format of it, or if you find the video valuable, if you don't find the video valuable, if you want it just like in a text format, in a post, in a newsletter, all these things help me out as well. I've been doing it the same way for a long time because people have been liking it and viewing it, but if there's a better format to do it, if you prefer better format, please let me know as well. But without further ado, let's dive right into it. Hope you had a great New Year's. For our first top 3 story, Complexity Gaming, they're still going to stay in CS Esports. Remember the announcement that Complexity Gaming would be acquiring FaZe Clan? Well, that comes with some certain questions, such as how 2 competing rosters in Counter-Strike will be handled. Seems that Complexity Gaming said it will continue to compete in Counter-Strike as the org announced contract extensions for many of its players. With that being said, Complexity Gaming and FaZe have both signed new players, and they've renewed those contracts, right? So folks are curious what will happen to the 2 rosters if this acquisition goes through, right? Will it be one mega roster like Evil Geniuses has done before? Will they only take 5 of the 10 players? Will one of the rosters be like a B roster, an academy roster? I'm not really sure. A GameSquare rep also says that they're assessing multiple options given the conflict on the esports side, but have not made a decision yet. Really what that sounds like is an unfortunate situation for the CS players involved. One of FaZe's biggest assets right now is their CS esports team, which has been performing very well recently, ranked number 2 as of this recording. However, what Complexity decides to do with this roster might also set the precedent for future acquisitions like this. In most cases, these esports team acquisitions act as an entry method into the new esport, where one team maybe doesn't have a team or a league spot or a roster in that game, so they acquire a team that does. In this instance, that may not have fully been thought through, or they may have just not really consider that at the moment. Either way, wishing the best of luck for the players and staff on both of these CS rosters. Curious to see how it'll actually pan out in the future. OverActive Media are going to acquire KOI Movistar KOI. Canadian esports company OverActive Media have announced its intention to acquire the Spanish esports orgs as well. This comes as a non-binding letter of intent, and if this acquisition does go through, OverActive Media will acquire both orgs' esports assets fully to unify under a singular brand by the end of 2024. The acquisition would see OverActive Media enter Riot Games' LEC 2024 season under the Mad Lions KOI name. In addition, it would join the Valorant Champions Tour EMEA League under the expected Movistar KOI name. As well, on the financial side, the acquisition would be expected to add about $10 to $12 million in revenue for 2024 and would increase adjusted EBITDA moving forward as well. Each acquisition would consist of up to 30 million common shares of the company, with 22.5 million being issued at closing and up to 7.5 million being issued based on business achieving certain goals between 2024 and 2028. The total value of each acquisition as of the announcement is up to $5.7 million based on the closing price of common shares on January 3rd of 19 cents. On the influencer side, notable influencer 𝗍𝗶 from KOI side would join the larger org, as well as the former pro footballer 𝗍𝗶. As far as executives go, Fernando Piquer would join OverActive as the chief strategy officer, and Carlos Garcia Acevedo will serve as the chief commercial officer for the EMEA side. Additionally, Gabriel Sáenz de Burruaga, the co-founder of Movistar Riders, and 𝗍𝗶 will be expected to join the company's board of directors. It seems that the future of esports may be a lot of consolidation, at least on the org side, right? We've seen lots of acquisitions in the past, just like the mentioned Complexity Phase 1, CLG, NRG, G2, and Version 1. Remember, a long time ago, we had Optic and Envy, so it's mainly Tier 1 esports. That being said, so I'm curious to see how orgs in smaller scenes, maybe FGC, maybe sports in general, those esports scenes, react to these, and if these big acquisitions will be coming through in those spaces as well. Either way, very big news. There has been a Chinese government official removed from his position following new video game regulations in the country. The Chinese government has removed an official overseeing the publishing unit related to video game releases in China following the plunge of Chinese gaming stocks after new gaming regulations were announced in December, according to Josh Yi of Reuters. Feng Shixin, formerly head of publishing unit at the Communist Party's publicity department, which regulates the Chinese video games industry via the MPPA, was removed according to 5 anonymous sources. The MPPA's initially proposed video game changes were met with investor fears and backlash from consumers in the country. However, the MPPA responded by saying it would revise and improve the rules by earnestly studying public views. This also comes after China approved more games for release in 2023 than in 2 previous years, with 1,076 games being approved in 2023. Compare that to 748 in 2021 and 512 in 2022. It was not a good year for gaming in 2022 in China. On one hand, the government claims that its changes to video games policies are aimed at protecting the country's minors and reducing online video game addiction. On the other hand, new approvals are at an all-time record within the country, and the government seemingly wants investors to still be confident in the gaming industry. So it's some interesting stances by the Chinese government here. I'm curious to see how this will play out in the grander scheme of gaming and esports, how this will affect global esports as well as Chinese gaming and esports specifically, since China is such a big player but quite inconsistent given the government's involvement in gaming and esports in the country. As far as partnerships go, Blast partnered with Epic Games, Falcons Esports, Gamer Legion, Team Spirit, and 𝗠𝗿𝗶. For that first partnership, Blast will continue to produce the Fortnite Championship Series, the FNCS, and they will start producing the Rocket League Championship Series, the RLCS, in a multi-year deal in which the company will actually run all operations for both esports events in the future, as well as commercial and partnerships for those events. For the second partnership, Blast welcomed 4 new affiliate member teams, those being Falcons Esports, Gamer Legion, Team Spirit, and 𝗠𝗿𝗶, to the 2024 Blast Premier season. These teams will gain access to compete in all Blast Premier tournaments as a result of this partnership. Team Vitality partnered with Vodafone Idea, Aldi, and Crédit Agricole. The Vodafone Idea partnership will see 2 groups working to grow the Indian esports scene, with content, event collaborations, and fan activations taking place with contests as well in the future. And the Aldi and Crédit Agricole partnership will see Vitality's League of Legends women's roster being renamed to Rising Bees, with Crédit Agricole and Aldi now supporting the team as main partners with logo placements and other activations in the future as well. Alpine partnered with the French esports org 𝗠ntleMates. The partnership will see the automotive brand Alpine become a major partner of 𝗠ntleMates' new Rocket League team for the 2024 season. Alpine is diving deeper into esports with Alpine Esports Series, as well as sponsoring the Blast TV major in the past. So obviously they're no stranger to the esports space. As far as finance and M&A goes, Non1 Gaming have injected $3.9 million to Freaks4U Gaming. The injection comes in the form of a convertible note at a consideration of $3.9 million, which means that if the conversion option of the convertible note is exercised the same, it will be converted to 7,366 shares at a future date. Currently, Freaks4U Gaming has 104,764 outstanding shares, and the conversion of this loan would value the company at $56.3 million. Tencent has sold an app store to Huya. As a result of this, Huya's stock price increased approximately 4%, and this comes after the Chinese government declared more regulations, as we previously discussed. This is an unnamed app service provider that was purchased for around $81 million, which Huya intends to synergize with Nemo TV and use to boost its international distribution abilities. Nexon has been fined $8.9 million by the Korea Fair Trade Commission. This comes as the Korea Fair Trade Commission alleges Nexon neglected to inform customers about probability changes to in-game items in MapleStory. This is the highest fine imposed for a company violating the Act of Consumer Protection in Electronic Commerce in South Korea. And for reference, Nexon was previously fined $700,000 for loot box practices for their game Sudden Attack back in 2018. Marcos Gaming have completed a pre-seed round. The Indian esports org raised an undisclosed amount with the intention to build up the esports community in India. The funding was led by India Accelerator and Finvolve, with participation from Succeed Ventures. They will use the funds to grow collaborations with gaming influencers and to take a broader view across multiple esports. As far as workforce changes go, Alex Arndt has been promoted to Senior Account Manager at Shikenso Analytics. Alex has been with Shikenso for 2 years now and has moved up from Junior Account Manager now to Senior Account Manager, so congrats to you, Alex. He holds a Master's in Sports Marketing from Macromedia University of Applied Sciences. Damon Baker joins Tencent Games as the head of strategic partners for console and PC. Damon was most recently the VP of partnerships and portfolio at Kepler Interactive for nearly 2 years. Before that, he spent time at Microsoft as the head of the portfolio team for global gaming partnerships and development. Most notably, he spent 12 years at Nintendo in a variety of roles, from brand licensing to partner management to marketing and communications, so he's well versed in the gaming space. He holds a bachelor's in film and multimedia from Deakin University. Stephanie Russo transitions to Amazon as a senior brand account executive for US LCS video games. Stephanie transitioned to Amazon more so now on the game side after being with Twitch for nearly 9 years. While Twitch is under Amazon, these two orgs are different, just so everyone knows. At Twitch, she was the director of client strategy for Seattle and New York City in the past, so evidently she knows a lot about the space, and she holds a bachelor's in advertising and PR from Rowan University. Bruno Mazzucchelli has been promoted to the Partnerships and New Business Director at KOI Esports. Bruno has been with KOI Esports for about 2 years now, serving most recently as the head of marketing, and he had lots of marketing and brand work in the past with Notice Company, Danone, and Burger King as well, and he holds a Master's in Esports Management from IEBS. Sky Shows has joined NetEase Games as the global influencer lead for Starry Studios. He's a buddy of mine that I've worked with in the past, so I gotta give him some love here. He was most recently the creator program manager at Amazon Games, and before that, we worked together at PowerSpike, where he was director of influencer success. He has held other community and influencer roles at Noise, the Brand Amp, and Into the AM, and he holds a degree in communications from CSU Fullerton. Amari Lim has been promoted to Global Partnerships Manager at Secret Lab. Amari has been in Secret Lab for about 3.5 years at this point and has been promoted from her assistant manager position in the past. She holds a Bachelor's of Business from Nanyang Technological University, Singapore. Congrats to you, Amari. Voss Roberts has been promoted to the Chief Commercial Officer at Misfits Gaming Group. Voss has been with Misfits for about 4 years now, is most recently the EVP of Global Partnerships. He's been a part of the team transforming Misfits on the brand side and commercially as well. And previously he was at Faceit doing sales and has done lots of sales with Heaven Media in the past, so on lots of different spaces as well. Congrats to you, Voss. Sergio Laranjeira has joined Metacore as a CTO. Sergio was recently the Senior Director of Engineering with Delivery Hero, a delivery platform in Germany. He has lots of engineering experience with firms like N26, Zalando, and others in the past, and he holds a Master's of Computer Graphics from the Polytechnic Institute of Viana del Castelo. Alex Bocher has joined Reactional Music as the head of developer relations. Alex was a contract business development manager for 5 years previously with Biz Media, focusing on the games industry. In the past, he's done sales for a variety of other sales roles for other gaming companies as well. And in this new role, he'll focus on commercial and game partnerships, that team to expand games and music collaborations. He holds a general certificate of secondary education from Newport Free Grammar School. Tim Mulligan joins Cloud9 as the head of sales. He joins after spending around 2 years at Xset as the VP of sales. Previously, he was with 100 Thieves as the senior director of strategic accounts and did brand partnerships with Influential and Warner Media in the past as well. He holds a bachelor's in comms and PR from Cal Poly Pomona. Jürgen Post joined Sega Europe as the COO of West Studios and a regional managing director. His role comes as a return to Sega after he left the company in 2017 as the COO for Sega Europe, and given leadership changes in Sega as president and COO Gary Dale and chief studio officer Tim Heaton are both stepping down. Jürgen served as the president of Europe International Partnerships at Tencent for around 2 years and was the CEO of Miniclip in the past as well. Evidently, he has a swath of experience in the gaming entertainment space, so we'll be curious to see what changes happen, if any. As far as new stuff goes, Critical Path Games has been unveiled. The new studio founded by Phoenix Labs alum Jean Marie Owens and Jesse Houston will be co-located in Vancouver. With over 15 years of working together, Jean Marie and Jesse intend to create a new video game genre entirely. That's it for this week in esports and gaming. Thank you so much for tuning in. Credit to the authors and brands themselves for the images and information provided. If you want to go show some support to the esports advocate, go click their link in the comments. And if you want to go show some support to me, either share this video or just tag someone down in the comments who might appreciate this. And as always, everybody, Happy New Year and have a great day.